Hi everyone and welcome back to the Bodcast. This is episode 50, no. This is episode 49.
Getting ahead of yourself.
Yep. And I'm here and Ian is obviously here as you've already heard.
Yep.
So what are we talking about today, Ian?
We're talking about the overwhelmingness of Lego.
Yep. Lego itself, Lego as a hobby, just Lego in general.
Lego.
So if you didn't catch my video last week, you'll have seen the sort of behind the scenes of our studio and how overwhelmed we are with the amount of Lego we've built. Some might say that we created that problem ourselves.
Maybe.
But it's still overwhelming. And I'm pretty sure that there are people that face this every day. Like we've had friends mentioning that they just can't deal with the amount of stuff that is going on. At the same time, you've got Lego releasing more and more and more and more sets.
Yeah.
And more and more and more and more sets. Specifically, like, right now is going to be...
Yeah, the summer's always where it really ramps up.
Yes. So, someone said there was, like, 300 new sets coming out June 5th. I don't know if that's 100% true. I know it's over 100.
Yeah.
But 300 seems a lot, but I
Lego.
haven't done the maths.
Putting a lot of that will be Star Wars that we can ignore, isn't it?
There's a bunch of Harry Potter that
Harry Potter's a big one
I'm
as well.
going to want. There's city sets, there's a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to avoid this one.
Okay.
There's also all the other programmes going on alongside Lego. So we've just had the Bricklink Designer programme. How did that go?
That went okay. So one of the things I think the overwhelm of Lego is not just the volume, it's also the urgency.
Yes.
So you had that in just over 12 hours, everything on the Bricklink Designer programme sold out.
Yeah. And I think people were not ready for that.
Oh yeah, I think because the second round was slower.
Yeah.
So people thought that they had longer. I mean, there were some which were up there for multiple days and some which didn't ever sell out.
I mean, the first one sold out in half an hour.
Yeah.
So why was it so different from the second round?
So I don't know how much of it was that the second round people had put orders in the first round and not received them or not seen anything about the first round ones. So they were slightly more wary of it.
Right.
At this point, you've had people receiving ones from the first round.
So people have got that FOMO from missing out there, maybe, as well.
And with it being the final round, maybe some people in the second round went, well, these aren't my favourite things. What I want is the stuff in the third round. We know that buildings do really well in Lego ideas.
Yes.
And this was really a round full of builders.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we should have known that it was going to be a lot more popular.
Yeah, that's why it was an expensive one for us.
Yeah.
So we talked on last week's podcast about the 4 sets we were going to back. Only 3 of those made it through. The steampunk one, whatever that was actually called.
Oh, it was called Steampunk, wasn't it? According to the Lego website.
Was it?
I thought you found
it was the Exploratorium. So yeah, it was still listed as the Exploratorium on the Lego website. But that didn't make it through. So we were umming and ahhing about that one towards the end. And that's the one that we were okay missing out on. It's disappointing, but yeah, having to make decisions that quickly, spend all that money that quickly.
Yep, and especially because some things. So I think I can't remember when we got told the prices for the previous rounds.
A couple of weeks ago, I think it was. Oh,
for the previous rounds, it seemed you didn't really get any advance warning of the prices. This time we did, apart from the fact that they changed.
Yeah, that was confusing.
And some people apparently got it much cheaper than it was meant to be. So on the US one, the price dropped randomly and then went back up again.
Yeah, and so I don't know if they were honouring it.
And you have to honour the price that you sold it at. That's I think generally how sales work.
You say that, but if you saw my haul video this week,
true.
Hamleys didn't honour that price. So it's a lot of pointing out videos this week.
It is. I'm sure you'll link them all.
Of course.
But it's not just the Bricklink Designer program that we've had. We've also had the Ulysses Probe came back.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And that sold out in under 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And that is a complete fiasco.
Train wreck,
the first time it happened, you could go, oh, maybe they misunderstood demand and a whole bunch of stuff. But to do it for a second time...
Yeah, if you're going to try and rectify a mistake, don't then make the mistake again.
Yeah.
So the people who were up early to get it and then missed out on it.
And again, that's the problem that the Bricklink Designer program had. That it was 3 a.m. that it launched in Australia.
Yeah.
Depending on which state you're in, it would have varied somewhat. But, very early in the morning.
You have states in Australia?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. What, like counties?
No, they have. I think they have counties within states, but like New South Wales.
Okay, name another.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Queensland is a state, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't know they had them.
They
so
have
what's
states.
Sydney? So that's a city.
Sydney's a city.
Melbourne's a city.
Yeah.
So what's the state? Erinsborough. One to look up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
And they have Victoria.
Oh yeah, that is a state, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you got the weird thing. I think is it Northern Territories, which is kind of a state, but kind of a slightly different thing.
Okay. I feel we've digressed somewhat.
Yes. But anyway, so it was very early in the morning. Some people weren't willing to get up that early. They didn't know that everything was going to sell out, and so they missed out on the opportunity to buy a lot of them.
Yeah, which kind of sucks for them.
Which doesn't make sense, considering that they'd ring-fenced certain numbers for certain geographies. Why not launch them at different times then?
True. Yeah, why not launch them at different times?
I don't know. You could have done, this many will launch in Asia Pacific at this time, this many will launch in Europe at this time, and this many will launch in the Americas at this time, and then another batch which at another time go on sale, and that's worldwide. Something like that.
Yeah, because on release days, it's midnight in your country. It's not midnight in one country and everyone else has to suck it up.
Yeah.
So it's really quite unfair. It was okay timing for us. It was like dead on dinner time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't hang about. I got in. I bought and I done. I think it was 2 minutes past. I was finished.
Yeah.
Because I was not missing out on that chalet.
Yeah. So you've got Lego seeming to push this urgency in a way that it didn't used to. I feel.
Yeah.
And I think this all actually started with. Is it the Cadillac gift with purchase?
Yeah, January 1st, 2020? No.
2021.
Yeah.
And that sold out super fast. And then that caused all gift with purchases to then get scrutinised as to whether it was going to sell out.
Yeah.
People making sure they got it really early.
Yeah, we're overwhelmed by the number of immediate Earharts we've got.
Yes.
We were up early to get that, and then we got like 20 the same month or something, because it was just available forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just inconsistent. So it's all that anxiety of, am I going to get it, am I not?
Yeah.
Do I get up, do I not? It's not fun.
And then you get the same thing with the release date. This is going on sale. Do I have to buy it straight away? Is it going to sell out? You know, so many of their sets are selling out on day one.
Yes, but you would assume that for a normal shelf life of like a year, say, that at some point it will come back into stock. You would assume that. But in the US, they had like the botanicals range last year. It took months and months and months before that came back. And for us with a massive backlog, it's not really a big deal. But if you just want one Lego set, it is
Well, it's things like, this is particularly when you want to buy something for a specific event. So like the botanical stuff, the original launch of it was all marketed around
like
Mother's Day.
And Valentine's. Yeah, because the roses were completely out of stock for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so they were advertising it for an event, but there was no way of you buying them in time for that event.
Yeah.
The whole Winter Village and Advent calendar stuff around Christmas, if you're not buying them in October, there's a fair chance you'll be missing out until after Christmas.
Yeah, so you've got to be ahead of the game all the time.
And
you've
that causes
constantly
that
have
stress.
Your ear to the ground of what's coming.
Yeah.
So there's this new Target one as well that just seemed to come out of nowhere. So that's another thing to make a decision on. There's just so many decisions. We have too many decisions every day.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot. So there's the Viking Village, the Marine Life, and the Mini Golf. We now have to choose which one we like best.
Yes.
Obviously, we then can't buy it until it's decided. And did you say it was not until August they tell us which one wins?
Yeah.
Which seems crazy.
It does.
But then I guess it's one less thing that we have to worry about until August.
Yeah, but it does seem odd. Why not just, there's a vote?
Oh, look,
give us the result of the vote when the vote is finished.
Yeah, it's kind of like they want to work out which one we want, then make it, and then show us it. Which just seems like, I don't understand why.
But that's not what they do with the other Lego ideas.
No.
They go, these are the ones we're considering, these are the ones we've chosen, and then a year later, or more, look, here's a set.
Yeah, it is an odd one to go. Which one do you think will win?
I think the Viking Village.
Yeah, okay.
That's what most people are talking about.
Yeah, it is cool, that's why. It's got a little rope bridge and stuff. And flags. Everyone loves rope bridges and flags.
Yeah.
I think it's because there's a Viking boat at the same time. So
yes.
It's kind of...
Well, you say at the same time. We have no idea when this will come out.
That's true. Sometime
Viking
after
boat may
August.
have retired by the time this set comes out.
And this is the thing, you're constantly having to look at the new releases whilst also keeping an eye on what's going to retire.
Yep.
And obviously, no one 100% knows what's going to retire. You always get the leaked lists of things that are going to retire. But that changes. Things, sometimes you spend your money on something that then gets extended. So the treehouse, is the treehouse still about, or did they finally get rid of that?
No, that was rumoured to retire for so long.
Yeah, and the roller coaster I think got extended a year. Yeah. And of course now there's the new roller coaster coming. There's so many things.
Yes. But there are other sets that go out of stock and then you get told it's going to retire. So by the time you get told it's going to retire, it's too late and it's gone.
Oh, but normally between it going out of stock and it retiring, they put it on offer so that you can't actually buy it because it's already out of stock. Didn't they do that at one point? There was like a whole bunch of offers and none of the sets were actually in stock.
Quite possibly.
And then they all retired. Lego seemed to be doing some crazy stuff.
But wasn't that because they still had some in store that they were trying to shift?
Yeah.
And the store prices and the online prices match.
Yeah, so. That's fair. But it's also annoying.
Yes.
Because if you don't live near a store... I don't really know how you keep up with it all. I think you kind of have to make a decision at some point not to.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way. But how do you make that decision? Do you just pick a theme and say, right, I'm only going to look if it's like this theme?
So that's one way of doing it. I mean, obviously for us, the fact that we don't follow Star Wars is really helpful because there's so much stuff that comes out in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So being able to go, no, that's a theme we just don't need to pay any attention to.
I mean, we would, if it looked like it would go in a city, then we would consider it. We're not saying no to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, we've got the Ewok Village.
Yes.
If another Ewok Village type set came along, we would consider it.
Yeah.
But we don't have to say, oh, look, another X-Wing.
But we don't have any completionist things,
exactly.
which you suffer from massively.
I'm a massive completionist and I don't really know how to get away from it because just the idea of ticking everything off makes me happy. So I obviously want to make myself happy. Like, that's a thing to do. But then if the side effect of that is there's Lego everywhere or I can't keep up and it's making me anxious, is it worth it? Like, how do you work it out? Well, makes me happy.
Yeah.
I think it's sometimes, like with the CMFs, knowing that I always want to keep getting the new ones and I can slowly get the old ones. I think it's something that you said to me at one point is the old stuff is always going to be old now. So don't chase it at the expense of the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, the price will possibly go up.
Yeah.
But you're already paying aftermarket prices.
Yes.
So have that as your, if there's money at the end, put it towards those older sets.
If you look at how the prices increase, it tends to be after the set retires, there's a massive jump. And then it'll go up at a decent rate for a while, and then it slows down.
Yeah, it sort of tails off.
So if it's in that tail-off period where it is slowly going up in value, but, you know...
You're going to save more by getting the sets you want before they hit that aftermarket price than buying something right this second on the...
Especially considering if it's something that's out now, there's a fair chance you can get it on an offer, or, you know, even if it's just things like using cashback...
Yeah.
You know, if you're buying something through Bricklink, you don't get cash back on it. You don't get reward points. No. You don't get anything. So it's definitely better to get the stuff while it's on sale.
Yeah, yeah. And that helps me to kind of look at the now and not go back. And also, ultimately, a lot of the sets that you look at from the aftermarket, they're going to make a better set at some point that's similar. Like... Not 100% of them.
Yeah.
But like if you just want a pirate ship, you don't care which pirate ship, eventually a new pirate ship's going to come along. If you just want a castle, you don't care which castle.
Yeah.
Eventually a new castle's going to come along. Especially for Star Wars, if you just want an X-Wing, eventually a better X-Wing is going to come along.
Yeah.
So getting the old stuff isn't always worth it.
That's true.
I'm trying to think of an occasion where the new stuff wasn't better.
I'm sure there are different cases of it.
Yeah, I think you spent ages looking for like the little submarine type things and you didn't like the new ones.
Yeah.
And I think some of the police stations they've done, like the city ones, they've been a bit rubbish, the newer ones.
Yeah.
But then we ended up with the modular police station, so it didn't really matter. And that was a good thing that we didn't then get a police station because it meant we didn't have to make the decision, do we want the city one that we invested in or the other one? Too many decisions. Is it okay for your hobby to be overwhelming?
It depends what your hobby is for. If you're onto a hobby that is distracting you from other things, then the fact that it's overwhelming probably means it's distracting you more.
What, so if you're trying to escape life
and
there's something you're trying to avoid in your normal life, something that stops you thinking about it is better.
Yeah.
Is that a healthy habit?
Depends what it is that you're trying to avoid.
Do you mean just trying to not think about work when you're not at work kind of thing?
That kind of thing, or there's something coming up that you don't want to think about because you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You just want distraction from it.
I've never really thought about using Lego preemptively to avoid oncoming pain. Like I've used Lego before, like I've had some sort of trauma. Right, I'll go and build a Lego set to take my mind off it. Not, I know some trauma is coming kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, normally because you don't really know trauma's coming. I guess you probably do in some circumstances.
Yeah.
I guess if the point of your hobby is to calm you, then adding something that makes you anxious and stressed out makes it not a very good hobby. You do see a lot of people sort of quit Instagram and things going, no, it's just all too much for me right now. And I think that's another angle when you add in not just Legoing, but sharing Legoing and YouTube videos and stuff. That's how I get overwhelmed, is that it's not the Lego itself, it's the wanting to do stuff with the Lego for my channel kind of thing. That's where most of my overwhelm comes from. Like I see every Lego set as a potential piece of content, and I struggle to get away from that. Like, I've spent the time building it, I should do something with it. But then if we put on a live stream... I don't think it's that you see it as a potential thing, it's that you see it as a future piece of content. Potential means that there's an option for it not to be. Yeah, okay. Whereas you seem to take every set we build as, I have to make a video on it, or somehow slip it into the channel. Well, because I feel like that helps justify it, but I need to So I've blurred the lines too much between hobby and job. Yes. So I have to remember that sometimes building a Lego set is purely for me, and that's okay. Yep. And that's the bit that I struggle with, because I'm like, I've got these other people to show things now. Why would I keep it to myself? Yeah. I'm very much a person that likes to please other people kind of thing. So if people have come to my channel and I've built something and I've not shown them, I kind of feel like I'm being dishonest and hiding stuff. Is that weird? That is probably weird. Yeah, it's very weird. We're just different people. Yep. You're weird too. I'm not weird. Let's list all the ways that Ian is weird. Let's not. Because there's no point starting a list that has nothing on it. Oh, right, yeah, sure. Maybe leave a comment now if you can think of something that makes Ian weird. Because you're all getting to know him, and he's definitely weird. Please agree with me in the comments. So what do we do? I don't know. You expect me to come up with some answers? So one of the things that I do is, every time there's new releases, I add them to my wishlist on Brickset. Okay. So that's my way of saying, I care about this set, I don't want to forget about it, but I don't have to have it right now. And so at the end of every year, I'll compare my wish list to retiring sets. So it keeps things on. And I think Sarah Starbricks was the person who sort of mentioned that, I'm almost done with this year. Everything from this year I've got that I wanted. Right. So trying to keep it rolling so you don't ever end up with 5 years, or 5 years probably wouldn't work given retirement cycles, but 3 years of stuff that you actually want, because then it's all going to start retiring at the same time and you're going to want the new stuff as well. Right, yes. So you've got to balance that's a day one purchase with, that's a set that's on my wish list and I really need to get it before it retires. Yeah. And when you do that, you can then look for the deals. This is getting towards the end of its life. Okay, I'll get it now and take it off my list. I think I have stuff on my wish list from 2020 though, so that's probably not so great. There. Shall I check? Go on then. How do you get to your wish list? Sets you want. I have stuff from 2011. Well, no, okay, so this is my wish list, right? So there are some retired sets that I've decided that I'd quite like to keep an eye on. So 2020, there's only one left. That's when we really got into the Shall we have a look at what's on there? It's on your released. Okay, so the post office. Right. So that's one that I'll come back to. Fairground Mixer. These are ones that I have alert on eBay. Right, okay. Now this one I probably can take off. The Aerials Under Sea Palace, because they brought out a new one. There you go. Is it better? I like the new one, so why would I think I can take that one off. There you go, progress. Again, the Aerials and the Magic Spell, I like the fact that it comes with an Ursula. You've got an Ursula? Have we? Yep, Disney CMF Series 2 comes with an Ursula. It's not a mini deal. Okay. I probably don't need that one. This is one I added when we were doing fairground stuff. Right, we have quite a lot of fairground stuff. Can't bring myself to take it off though. Take it off. Okay, it's a Unikitty. Popcorn cart, small one. I quite like a popcorn cart.
Okay.
This was my completionist. I started putting on the Year of
the Pig.
I really like the Space Rocket ride. So these are small ones.
Yeah.
The Juice Bar. I really like the Arundel Castle. Did that retire yet? Yeah, it did. Never mind. The People Pack that I was really annoyed that I missed out on.
Yeah. Oh.
Apocalypse Bay. Oh, you're like, oh yeah.
I was surprised that was on there.
Why?
I don't know.
It's quite a cool little build. It's got a building. But I say little build. Welcome to Apocalypseburg. Little build.
It's massive.
It is. It's huge. I don't know. I'm not sure.
And it's very expensive, isn't it?
Yeah. You're looking at like 400 and something on the aftermarket. Which, if you look at how much it was before, isn't actually that much of an increase.
Yeah.
Chinese New Year's Eve dinner. Definitely need that one.
Okay.
But I don't know how to get that. Chinese Dragon, maybe not.
No.
Well, it's not a very good Chinese Dragon.
No, we've got a Humpy Dragon. We don't
Humpy
need that
Dragon,
one.
yeah. I need that one. I'm not sure about this one. I put it on.
Really?
Just to remind me that I want to sort of look for deals on it. If I could find that an odd deal, then I quite like the furniture.
This is the Queer Eye, the Fab Five Loft, for those people listening.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interior stuff that I'd quite like to lift and put somewhere else.
Right, okay.
So if it was on a deal, then I'd go for it. It's the friend's apartment, I do want that. Even that's not just to lift the stuff. I want the experience of building it. I don't necessarily want to put it in the city, but this might be a for me set.
Okay.
Seriously want the Duplo set, the Chinese New Year Duplo set. What? Why is that funny? It's a really cool set.
Okay.
There's a lot of Duplo sets I want right now. I quite like the art project, the one you can make the spaceman from. And again, the Seinfeld set. It's about lifting stuff out of it. Home Alone, you still didn't let me get last year. But I wanted that. Little Lego stand. That's my completionist for Harry Potter, the Gryffindor dorms. I want that, but I don't care enough.
Why do you want that? You don't like brick-built animals. This is Santa's front yard, which comes with a brick-built reindeer.
Because I thought it was quite a cute little reindeer.
We already have brick-built reindeers and moulded reindeers. Just seems odd that you want that one.
Ariel's celebration boat was for Hayley. That I nearly bought the other day.
Cinderella's Royal Carriage.
Yeah, and then I lost it. Again, that was probably more for Hayley. Now we're into like ones that are currently available. This is still available.
Yes.
So, there's not many things on my wish list that are behind it. I like the stunt stuff.
You've got quite a lot of 2021 stuff there.
Yeah, it's all the stunt stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to decide whether I want to go more into that theme or not. Yeah. I probably shouldn't, but I think I might have that one. Oh, I really want the icon set. The Hogwarts icons. That owl just looks so beautiful.
But the rest of it's rubbish.
Yeah, I just
you
want the owl.
don't need a pile of books.
No, I just want the owl.
Yeah.
Again, this is the thing, it's trying to make a decision on a set. When you look at it and you go, I really want to build that, but I don't want to keep it.
Yeah. I
could buy that set, build it, and sell it, if I was that kind of person that actually sold stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where I fall down, not being that person. So then this is like the latest
2022 stuff, yeah.
That is a better. It's good enough. I think it's perfectly reasonable. I think I'm doing alright.
Okay.
You are less sure.
I don't know. So I'm thinking, there's not many sets that are on my kind of wanted list. Not that I have an actual wanted list, but my mental wanted list.
What's your mental wanted list?
The botanicals.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it at the moment.
Nothing else you want?
Not that I can think of.
I think maybe I'm the one that wants more Lego than you.
I think so. It's interesting, isn't it? Because you've put most of the Harry Potter stuff on.
Yeah.
With the exception of the only Harry Potter set that I like.
Yeah, I don't like that dragon. The dragon, I don't really care for the stuff that isn't a building. I like buildings. I like city building. I don't really want a big dragon. Obviously on this list there should be all the elf stuff, just to clarify.
Yes. Yeah.
But again, that's something that I've said, I don't have to get that all straight away.
No.
That's an ongoing long-term project for me. So I think the way to deal with overwhelm is to give yourself some parameters to live between. I won't get every set on day one. I won't chase sets just to complete a theme.
Yeah. As long as the parameters are sensible, otherwise you'll find yourself stressed out more by the fact that you want to break your own rules than anything else. Yeah,
that's true. That's the same reason we don't believe in budgets. You'll miss out on stuff because of your budget and then you'll regret it later. Yeah. So we try and make decisions based on, are we going to regret making the opposite decision to the one that we're making?
Yeah.
That's essentially how we're going, isn't it? And we look at it as all the things we buy can potentially be sold on if we do regret purchasing it or if we need the money back.
Yeah.
So I think that's our mentality, and it seems to work. I think with the overwhelm of projects and things, and I know a lot of people who mock have too many ideas, just note down the idea and park it. Like, don't try and do too many at once. You've got parts for like a waterfall, but you're not building a waterfall right now. You've got parts for a tram, you're not building a tram. You half designed a museum, you're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I think you don't seem overwhelmed by it. You just seem to like flitting between them.
Yeah.
But I find that stressful because I'm like, what are these parts now for? So I think I'd like to have a process of, right, we're on this project, these are the parts, put them in a bag. Right. Okay, we've changed from that project, leave them in the bag, move on to the other project. When I'm ordering stuff on Bricklink, we got, I think, 40 odd wish lists, and I don't know which ones I should buy from, so I find that a bit stressful. There's just, I'm keeping you awake.
Oh.
There's just too many aspects, and I think when we're sharing the load, you know where you are, but I don't know where you are.
I don't necessarily know where I am with projects.
Okay. So maybe we just need to make a list of all the things we're on. I like lists.
I know you like lists. Happy. And Trello boards.
Trello boards, yeah, it's all like the Trello board. So yeah, I think just noting things down and parking them takes them out of your brain. That's the point of the lists and the Trello boards. You've dumped all that information that you want to come back to, and you can move on with your project that's current.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Live in the moment. Note down the things for the next moment.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Perfectly.
Yeah, and don't complete things.
Yeah.
Any other words of wisdom from you?
No, that's it.
Okay. I guess we could ask for people to leave comments of their words of wisdom, how they deal with the overwhelm of the hobby. I know a lot of people are just essentially shutting down at this new release and sort of saying it's too much. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I think at some point you might regret that later, though. That's always the problem.
But stepping away from it and coming back to it in 2 months' time, when you'll see better reviews of things, you'll see what people have done with it, you'll see the availability, whether there are sales.
All the new sets that are coming after that.
Yeah.
That's the thing, it kind of feels like you can't step away from the releases because another release will come and then you'll be behind. So that's the harder part. Yeah. It's definitely a hot topic, though, I feel, though. Yeah. Okay, so if you've got any tips, leave them in the comments below. If you want to listen to any of our previous episodes, then I'll link up the playlist now, either in the show notes or the description or on the screen. And we'll be back next week for episode 50. So have a great week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.